But I need to get up and go out. We have some errands to run and an activity. So I just wanted to say that I'm really aggravated. The exact thing that aggravated me, that made me get off the internet for a little bit, is the same thing that's bothering me right now. I give myself the ick because I hate talk. It's like so dramatic to be talking about this individual on the fucking internet, but I'm doing it because it's a part of my life. It's a part of some of the things that I speak on this channel has led to this. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff that I'm talking about on this channel, he's a part of it. He's a part of it. And I'm, I'm upset that I had gotten to a point where I reverted. My therapist had, showed some empathy about that because I've worked really hard for myself, worked really hard for them. Um, I don't think that I forgot this part too. I think somewhere along the lines, I have made comments that don't really reflect my feelings, okay? Taking accountability should not earn me anything. Taking accountability is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of being an adult. So I don't think I'm owed for taking accountability. In fact, if anything, everything that this person owed was to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like you could have went and got tested and that would have ended everything. Yes, I did something wrong. I did something wrong. I'm okay with admitting that I did something wrong. However, even how the situation came to be, I will never not it's not an excuse, it's a causation. Okay? If we've been hanging out and that somebody's in the house every time we're hanging out, and then we hang out by ourselves for the very first time. We've never hung out before by ourselves before this. And there's been no discussions about if you like me, if we're interested in each other, what's going on and what's happening, and you just make a move on me. I am never going to be able to take that back because I was in the state I was in. I was in a mental state. I'm still in that mental state. It's called PTSD. Okay. Um, so I'll never be able to take that back. And but I did put forth the work to make sure that you got the truth. And that's all that matters. That is all that matters. After that, everything after that is on you. You didn't do what you were supposed to do for yourself. You didn't even bother to take care of yourself, sir. You mean to tell me that you did not bother to even take care of yourself? And let's think about this. You didn't take care of yourself the whole time. That's 7 years. 2 years where you didn't know and you weren't maintaining your own health. And then 5 additional years of not maintaining your own health. That has nothing to do with me at all. What you did because you didn't maintain your health has nothing to do with me at all. Okay? I keep trying to. We both did something wrong, but I had already righted the wrong by telling the truth. Anything after that was your responsibility, and you just didn't take it. And I'm getting mad and I'm upset more so at the work that I did that is wasted, right? The therapy thing. But she reminded me, and this has also brought me peace. I'm glad that I went. I'm glad that I went. I'm crying. Well, actually, you know, just because the work didn't work out with that person doesn't mean that you can't be with someone else and it still work. And I understand that. I totally agree. I couldn't disagree. It's just that that work actually wasn't needed. The insecurities, the things that were coming up because of their intentional behavior. I'm not insecure. I walk around outside with plenty of confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have those issues. I know that I'm worthy. I know. Um, but now it's very upsetting. It's very upsetting to see all the work kind of just like fall apart. I worked really hard. I worked really hard. I worked really hard. I didn't really give you much. I didn't have anything to give you. But I gave my attention. I gave my concern. I gave my advice. I bought him a birthday present. That's not really big. Nobody owes me that. I didn't do anything serious for you except for just try to walk you through and repair. Okay? If you said that, I genuinely made a commitment to remorse. And that is something that I cannot get back. I don't give a fuck about the little fucking shoes. I don't care about that. I care about the fact that I made a commitment to show remorse, that I actually did something that is of character and um, am still perceived without such. And then once I'm done and I'm over here and I'm spazzing out and shit because I have a mental illness, because I am actually unstable but living stably, right? And that instability isn't even mine, it's a projection of all the other individuals that are unstable around me. I am being projected on. And now I look like a fucking idiot. It is unstable. It is vindictive to enact revenge and you don't even and telling someone they ruined your life and you don't even have the facts. I'm talking like a broken record, but it's the facts. And it gives me the ick. It gives me the ick. Ugh. But yeah, I want you to know what I came here to say is that when you go to therapy, you self-report. So you don't have to report to your therapist that you're harassing somebody, but I did because I take this shit very seriously. Very fucking seriously. I didn't come here to play. She's very aware that I am harassing this individual. She's very aware. She has talked me through it, and that is why she said I wasn't delusional or psychotic or experiencing a psychotic episode. That my feelings were very valid, and they are. Like, I just want people to know that I'm not going to my psychiatrist or she's not a psychiatrist. I'm not going over to the therapist and giving them half truths. I'm breaking it down. This is how it started. He said this, I said this. This is what happened, and after that happened, I experienced this, and then I did this, and then he did this, and this is what he did. We can understand you're upset. We can understand that you had a valid reason to be upset. You did. You did. We understand. You just went too far. And this will be my last fucking video about it. There's nothing else to say. All right. Now, as of today, there's nothing else to say. I had a lot to say. And the funny thing is, you never probably listened to any of it anyway. You never bothered to talk to me anyway. I already know that. But it's just, it's always like that. I'm silenced. I don't get to, oh, and then when I do say it now, I'm crazy. Ooh, I'm crazy. But you never gave me the chance to talk about it in the first place. You never gave me the chance. And I will be damned if I'm silenced. I don't give a fuck if you read it, if you don't read it, if you watch the video, if you don't watch the video. I don't give a fuck. But you're not gonna fucking silence me. I'll say what the fuck I gotta say. And I did. And now I'm done. There will be nothing else about this fucking shit. We're moving on with life, whatever that may be, which is not much. I'm living my life. I'm a single mom who takes care of her child, who loves her kids and never stops. I take care of my child. He's currently doing a reading. Or not a reading like cards. He's doing a reading session. He's reading. We're gonna go out. We're gonna continue just living day by day like we do. I'm not dealing with anyone. I don't plan on ever dealing with anyone. When this first happened, I talked to somebody that's known me for 20 years, and then I went off because they're playing dumb. A lot of weird shit going on over there too. I'm over it. And I wasn't even trying to deal with them. What it was familiarity. From this point, from this point, there is no one who is familiar with me. There is no one that can say, oh, I've known her for years. I mean, you could say that, but we no longer have a connection. So anything you knew about me in them years is going to be different moving forward. I no longer have anyone in my life that has known me for a long amount of time. And so when this first happened, I went to speak with them just to have familiarity, but then the reminder that familiarity does not mean healthy, it does not mean safe, it does not mean anything. And I brought something up to them, and that's when they started doing that avoidant behavior. At one day we were talking every day, and they're hitting me up and shit, and then I mentioned it, and then they started dropping off. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, because I remember you, I went somewhere, and when I got back, you're on my timeline, and you made a comment about something that I was doing, and you were fucking in New York. How the fuck would you know that? I know y'all can't keep acting like I don't know what the fuck is going on. You just can't keep doing that. I'm not delusional. And that's my problem here. Because now I already know. I already know. I just, I don't want, yeah. So that wasn't even anything. It wasn't like we weren't trying to sleep together. We weren't trying to make anything happen. It was just having someone who knows my mannerisms, who knows my jokes, our jokes flow, and we have inside jokes and blah, blah. I was just looking for that for a minute. And then I was like, you know what? This is not healthy either. And it was only a couple weeks, you know. And I went back on with life. And I don't, my phone number is new. I, one neighbor over there, one neighbor over there. That's all who has my phone number. I texted my sister because she had my daughter, and me and my daughter had an issue, and I had to text my sister. She's blocked though. Nobody else has my number. Like, this number is so exclusive right now. My phone is not about to ring, and it hasn't been anyway. It hasn't been. So being like, I'm scared to go be myself is false, because I've been here by myself this whole time. This whole time, by myself. An occasional visit from you, and me and my son, and that's it. My neighbor will occasionally come over with her children and leave her children here at my request, right? She didn't ask. I request her kids to come here, but she doesn't often come here. Nobody ever comes to my house. Nobody ever does me. I've already been living that way. I'm not afraid. I just didn't want to, because I've already been living it. I was forced to, because I needed to take accountability, and taking accountability would have just been you doing you, taking care of your health, and saying, you know what, you betrayed my trust, I can't fuck with you. I would have been cool with that. I would have been cool with that. That was the appropriate and natural consequences of my actions. All this other stuff was unnatural. It was unnatural. And because it was unnatural, this ain't like some breakup like, oh, we just don't see eye to eye. Oh, we're incompatible. Oh, you broke my trust, so we need to split. This is, you used me and took revenge on me, and then you're done. But I didn't do the crime to get the revenge. That's never gonna sit well with me. It's okay if you do not want to be with me. That's not what I'm upset about. I'm just upset about the unnatural consequences that I received for something I did not do. That is it. That is all. That is all it'll ever be. I'm going to say it one more time because I'm not owed anything for doing the right thing. I wasn't owed a relationship because you told me, because I told the truth and I did something good for you. That's never going to, that's not a thing. That's only a thing if I was like crazy, and I'm not. You didn't owe me that. What you owed me, you didn't owe me anything. You owed yourself. And because you deprived yourself, you have now harmed me. You deprived yourself of your own health and the knowledge of yourself. The knowledge of yourself caused you to harm someone unnecessarily. And there's nothing that you can do to fix it. There's nothing. Because now I don't want you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you now. But now you've gotten a part of me that you didn't need. You didn't need any of that. You didn't need my compassion. You didn't need me to tell you to go check out your elbow when you got hurt. You didn't need me to do any of those things for that are just emotional support. Like I gave you like a lot of emotional support, and I also drained a lot of it because I'm sitting here, hey, what are you doing? Why aren't you calling me? Hey, let's work this out. I read this book and it told me I should do this, and would you like to try that? Like doing all that extra shit, thinking I'm trying to like, I gave you this, so I'm going to make sure that I'm working to do the right thing in this relationship and make sure that you have the best relationship, since you're here with me thinking that you're stuck with me when you're not. No, there were. You see how bizarre this is and what I'm trying to deal with and how my brain is racing, and I'm really affected by this. And I shouldn't be, because I lied and I didn't lie. It was omission. See, there's a very difference between an omission and a blatant lie. You never asked me anything. You never even gave me the opportunity to tell you anything until after the fact. And then PTSD kicked in. So that's not going to be, it's my fault, but PTSD is not my fault though. You know what I'm saying? Me not having a handle on it. I'll even be real with you. Aaron's dad, he told me multiple times, if you know you have a trigger, that you need to not be exposing yourself to the trigger sometimes. And that I didn't know that you would be a danger. So I went and sat with you, but I knew I had that trigger. So we could go ahead and put all of it on me and say I knew I had that trigger, so I should have just not been around you at all, despite what you said. But I was trying to be. I just watched the video when I said I'm always trying not to make other people suffer for what other people do. So me trying to be open and trusting and not letting my problems and my triggers direct how I moved wrong. I shouldn't have been there. I just shouldn't have been there at all. So if you want to put all the blame on me, that's where we could start. I shouldn't have been there at all because I knew I had a problem and I did not. I was trying to address it. I was in therapy, but there wasn't anything that was going to, and I wasn't in therapy. I was at first, and then it all fell apart, and I couldn't be in therapy briefly. It don't matter. None of this matters. In the grand scheme of things, none of this matters. It's just another, you know, going into a transformation and starting over. I'm starting over, wherever that may be, and whatever that is. And actually, it won't be anything male related or anything like that, friend related or anything like that. Um, not sure what it is, but there will be some new venture I decide to take. I've been thinking about things for a while on other stuff. You know, my life has to go on. That's just what it is. I have to go, my life goes on. My life wasn't about to collapse because of this dude either. Like, that wasn't about to happen. But my mental state, because it was just, you know, the straw that I was doing a lot of mental gymnastics, a lot of mental gymnastics that were not necessary. So then I just stopped. And when I stopped doing the mental gymnastics, all things fell apart. But it's all right. We're sucking it back up and we're leaving the pieces we don't need. It'll be fine. I just don't like it. But what I also don't like is not being truthful about it. What you're not gonna see is me get on this internet and act like I'm not fucking harassing somebody. You know what I'm saying? Act like I'm not yelling at somebody. Act like I'm not doing what I said. Like I'm not a factor. I'll never act like that. This is more me revealing the fact that I did not handle this shit well. I even brought it up in therapy, you know, the fact that, you know, our culture and some of the aesthetics, right? You know, a true queen doesn't do this and a true queen doesn't do this, right? And I'm not, definitely not acting like a true queen. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. When they're really done, hey, this one will get you though. When they're really done, they'll they don't argue no more. They don't get mad no more. They just quietly walk out. That bitch, not me. Excuse my language. I did say I was going to try to stop saying bitch, but it's just a part of my vernacular now at this point. But I'm going to be working on that one day. I got too much to work on, don't you see? But those little tropes, you know, those little, when you're a true queen, you do this. When you're the one that got away, you do this. And I'm not doing any of that stuff. And it affects me to know that I'm not. But it doesn't actually mean anything. These are fucking opinions. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm sitting here and I like, you know, and I said that to her, I said that bothers me because I know what the rhetoric is. A woman that's worth losing won't chase. A woman that's worth, you know, a woman that's worth it won't do this, won't do that. And I'm not doing any of that. So does that mean that I'm not worth it? Does that mean that? No, it doesn't. I give a fuck about these rhetorics. You know what I'm saying? I give a fuck about the rhetoric. So, you know, I had to think about that too and like deal with that and how I felt about, geez, every single time you text this man, every single time you do something, you know, you're really looking like a fucking idiot. And I could care fucking less. I could care less. Who's the fucking idiot, me or you? You're fucking me and thinking you have an STD you didn't even have. You was exposing yourself to shit. Who looks dumb? Me or you? Oh, I'm the dumb one because I'm mad? No, you're dumb. Man, maybe we both dumb. How about that? We both dumb. How about that? How about that one? That one's a good one too. But I'm not. I'm not. And having to, you know, recalibrate, remember that, okay, yeah, you did do that. You did harass them. I harassed them almost exactly a month, from like the 16th to the 16th. And I do not care. I do not care. I think I have that right. If that right earns me trouble, like a restraining order or the number being changed, I'm ready to accept those consequences should they be needed. But I don't have anything else to say at this point. Actually, there's no point. There's no point past this. Past this point, I now no longer know anyone that has known me for more than a year and a half. There is no one in my life involved from the past. And that's how it had to be. It took a lot. It was real bad. It went bad. It didn't have to go bad. It didn't have to. I didn't have to choose to, send a month worth of stuff and do all that. I didn't have to do none of that. It was a choice because I refused to be silenced. You was never gonna hear me out. You was never gonna pick up that phone. You was never gonna text me. That's why that shit escalated like that in the first place. Constantly silencing, neglect. It's an emotional neglect not to speak to someone, and I don't mean like you. If we go and we get in an argument, okay, I'm trying to speak my piece, and you just don't say nothing. You don't read the text message. You don't call. You don't pick up the phone. You just don't say nothing for 2-3 weeks. That's emotional abuse and neglect, and what it causes is emotional dysregulation. So when you're sitting here and you're trying to tell me that I'm unhinged, your behavior was the cause of a brief moment of emotional dysregulation. Okay? You're the cause. Now, I have a responsibility. We're speaking on causation. These aren't excuses. These aren't excuses. Because an excuse would be, and I just did it because, and I have a responsibility to control myself. I know that. Do you hear me saying the facts about it? Emotional neglect causes emotional dysregulation. Okay, so you emotionally neglected, and then I had emotional dysregulation. But as you hear, I have logic, and I know that for a fact. So that means that I have enough knowledge to stop myself from doing it. Hold on, please. Okay. So, because I have logic and I already know that emotional neglect causes emotional dysregulation, therefore I'm responsible for myself. So, I'm not excusing it. I made the choice not to control it, to let it fall apart, to experience the emotional dysregulation. But one, I know, and I do know how to control myself. So now you will see that, and it'll be permanent. And I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Um, Sad still, yes. Hurt still, yes. You can feel like more than one emotion at one time, right? I'm happy that it's over. It was very miserable for me. The entire time it was miserable, it was humiliating, it was embarrassing. My feelings were constantly hurt. Why would I ever not be happy that that ended? Not only am I happy that it ended, I'm happy that it ended with me knowing that I did the right thing. Okay? I'm happy about that. Even if they can't acknowledge it, I can. I didn't have to tell this individual that I had anything. Uh, and yes, I did. Morally, yes, I did. But ultimately, the person didn't have it, and now I understand. Hindsight. A lot of people gave me good advice that I did not take with this individual. Now, my cousins never advised me not to tell him or anything like that, but once I told them, that's when they start. That's why that's they've seen a lot of things happen, and they told me to stop telling people because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know blah 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 blah. It's not HIV. That's how they're moving, right? And I was trying not to move that way. This was like an isolated event, and yes and no, because the other incidents happened, but this is very different. It's like a very different. Because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something else. Damn. Let's get back to how when this stuff started, and I could have just not went to you. You trying to make it seem like I was preying upon you or that I was intentionally doing this stuff. Do you need like an example of what it looks like when I'm trying to come on to a nigga, or like what I when I'm interested in somebody? Because I never did that to you, like ever. You invited me to your home. I called you for some grass. When I met, I called you for grass. You gave me your number to call you for grass. I called you for grass. I did not call you for ass. I did not say, hey, you want to hang out? Hey, you want to be smoke buddies? That was you. You know, so you sitting here saying, ooh, I wish you never liked. No, nigga, you need to say, I wish I never liked you. You wish you never liked me. You invited me over. You wanted to hang out with me. I never came on to you. I never did anything to you to make you think that I was trying to get with you. And it's not because I didn't like you or anything, just I didn't do that. You must need to see an example of what it looks like when I'm interested and I'm trying to fuck with somebody. Because it wasn't you. I mean, I liked you, but I had respect for you and I wasn't trying to do none of that. So, like, that delusion that you have about me, it'll probably never go away. That's why I said you're going to be mad at me for a while about this because you have your own delusions that you need to work through. Maybe I have my own delusions. Maybe you really aren't seeing anybody and I just think that you are, but I dreamt it. I dreamt it. There are things that you said. There are things that you said that I have proof of other people saying. It's weird. When I was cleaning out the Google photos, that's what it is, Google Photos. When I was cleaning out my Google Photos, I was going through and I'm coming across screenshots of over the years of people talking to me because that's kind of how some of my content was made on Facebook, right? So you have said things. There is a pattern, there is a pathology to cheaters, to liars. You've displayed that pathology. You may very well not be seeing anybody, but you displaying the pathology of someone who does, and I have the facts to back it because I have multiple men doing the same thing, and I have them on a timeline. Like, oh, he said this, then this happened, then this happened, then oh yeah, here's the reveal. He had a baby on the way. Oh, here's the reveal. He's in a long term commitment. Like, I have the facts to back that your behavior just is similar enough, and then I have the dreams. You've been doing it. Um, I don't know. I'm about to throw this name out here because it's very interesting. I don't know what Corey has to do with anything. What does he have to do with anything? He asked me to wash his hair, and I did it, and he paid me. That was a service that was provided, and he liked me. That okay? What's that mewing shit they be doing? All right, he liked me. I didn't like him. Ew. And I don't mean that. Sorry, Corey. It's not a you thing. It's just, well, sorry. I don't mean it like that. There were things that you did that were very repulsive, and I could never ever talk to you again. Um, but that's for Corey, not for you. You, at this point, all I'm saying is the cycle is complete. Everybody that was in my life prior that had intentions to harm, they are now removed from my life. This will be the last video I make about it because I've already said that this should be giving me the ick. It gives me the absolute ick. It's just to be on the internet talking about my relationships and things like that. I mean, it started from the jump, but that was totally different the way it was done. It was done tastefully. Now it's just gotten to a very distasteful, disgusting type of level. And to some extent, it had to. It had to, because let me think about it. Hold up. Why all these people know my exact words? Why all these people know the shit that I be doing? What do you have to do with that? So you sit here and you act like oh, why are you on the internet? Why are you doing this when you are literally using the internet, however you may be doing it, and doing the same exact thing. You don't think I can't see you? Man, like I said, last time I'm ever bringing this shit up. There's nothing else to bring up. I won't be texting this individual anymore. There are no more updates about that. The reason that this was brought up, though, is because there's probably someone else out in the world that is doing the exact same thing and thinks that they're delusional, psychotic, and you're not. You are having a natural response to a traumatic event, okay? You yourself, if you know that is the case, just get to professional. They can help you, okay? They can help you. They will give you what you need to get it done and to heal back. Heal back to your original state, and not necessarily your original state. What you want to do is you want to grow above that. So we're just going to go ahead and now we're going to grow above that. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day.